Chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. This is a straight read through, one video after another of each chapter and verse of the Bhagavad Gita without commentary. If you would like to read the commentary of this translator, Michael Beloved, please see Bhagavad Gita Explained, available on Amazon and at michaelbeloved.com. Chapter 4, Disciplines of Accomplishment. The Blessed Lord said, I explained to Vivashat this perpetual teaching of controlling the personal energies through yoga. Vivashat explained it to Manu. Manu imparted it to Ikshwaku. Thus received through a series of teachers, the yogi kings knew this skill of controlling the personal energies. After a long time here on earth, this yoga application was lost, O burner of enemy forces. Today, this ancient yoga technique is explained to you by me, since you are devoted to me and are my friend. Indeed, this is confidential and is the best teaching. Arjuna said, Your lordship's birth was later. The birth of Vivashat was earlier. How should I understand that you explained this before? The Blessed Lord said, Many of my births transpired, and yours, Arjuna. I recall them all. You do not remember, O scorcher of the enemies. Even though I am birthless, and my person is imperishable, even though I am the Lord of the creatures, by controlling my material energies, I become visible by my supernatural power. Whenever there is a decrease of righteousness, O son of the Bharata family, and when there is an increase of wickedness, then I show myself. For protecting the saintly people, to destroy the wicked ones, and to establish righteousness, I come into the visible existence from era to era. One who knows my supernatural visitation and deeds, who truly realizes this while abandoning his body, does not go for rebirth. He goes to me, O Arjuna. Many whose craving, fear, and anger is gone, who are totally focused on me, who are purified by austerity and education, attained my level of existence. As they rely on me, so I relate to them, O son of Pritha. All human beings everywhere are affected by my course of action. Wanting their ritual action to succeed, people in the world worship the supernatural authorities. Quickly in this human world, there is fulfillment which comes from ritual action. According to the distribution of habits and work tendencies, the 4 career categories were instituted by me. Know that I am never required to participate. Actions do not entrap me. The desire for payoff is not in me. The person who understands this about me is not entrapped by action. Having understood this conclusion, functional work was done, even by the yogi kings who desired liberation. Therefore, you should perform cultural acts, just as it was done before. What is action? What is not an action? Even eloquent philosophers are confused on this subject. I will discuss the subject of action to you. Knowing this, you will be freed from undesirable circumstances. Indeed, appropriate action should be known, and one should also recognize the inappropriate type. The effect of no action should be understood. The course of action is difficult to comprehend. He who perceived the non-acting factor in a performance and sees an acting factor when there is no action is the wise person among human beings. He is skilled in yoga and can perform all actions. He for whom desires and intentions are not mixed into his endeavors, who has destroyed reactionary work by the fiery force of his knowledge, he, the wise man, called a pandit or a learned man. Giving up the quest for a payoff from actions, being always satisfied, not depending on anything, he does nothing at all, even while performing. Without hoping, being reserved in thought and spirit, giving up all tendency for grasping, using the body effectively for action, he does not acquire a fault. Being satisfied by benefit which comes by chance, ignoring likes and dislikes, being freed from envy, even-minded in success and failure, and having performed, a man is still not implicated. Concerning a person whose attachment is finished, who is liberated, whose idea is established in knowledge, any of his action which is done solely for austerity and religion does cancel completely. Spiritual existence is the basis of his ceremonial articles. It is the foundation of sacrificial ingredients. The perceptive priest pours the stipulated items into the fiery splendor of spiritual existence. It is the spiritual existence which is attained by a person who keeps contact with the spiritual level while acting. Some yogis perform austerity and religious ceremony in relation to a supernatural authority. Others offer austerity and religious ceremony as the sacrifice into the fiery brilliance of spiritual existence. Other yogis offer hearing and other sensual powers into the fiery power of restraint. Some offer sound, and others sensual pursuits into the fiery sensual power. Some ascetics subject the sensual actions and the breath function to self-restraint by fiery yoga austerities, which are illuminated by experience. Persons whose austerity and religious ceremony involve the control of material possession, those whose austerity and religious life involve some self-denial, as well as some others whose penance and religious procedure is the 8-part yoga discipline, and those whose austerity and religious ceremony is the study of the Veda and the acquirement of knowledge. All these are regarded as ascetics with strict vows. Some offer inhalation into the exhalation channels. Similarly, others offer exhalation into the inhalation channels, thus being determined to restrain the channels of the energizing and de-energizing airs. Others, who were restrained in diet, impel fresh air into the previously inhaled air. All these ascetics whose impurities were removed by austerity and religious ceremony understand the value of an act of sacrifice. Those who enjoy the physical and psychological results of a sacrifice go to the primeval spiritual region. This world is not properly utilized by those who do not perform austerity or religious ceremony. How then can the other world be, O best of the Kurus? Many types of disciplines of accomplishment were expounded in the mouth of the spiritual existence. Know them all to be produced from action. Realizing this, O Arjuna, you will be freed. Better than the property control and its ritual regulation is knowledge control and its ritual regulation, O scorcher of the enemy. Every activity without exception, O son of Pritha, is realized as a conclusion in the final analysis. This you ought to know. By submitting yourself as a student, by asking questions, by serving as requested, the perceptive reality conversant teachers will teach you the knowledge. Having known that experience, you will never again succumb to delusion, O son of Pandu. By that experience, you will perceive all beings in relation to yourself and then in relation to me. Even if you were the most wicked of the culprits, you will overcome all bad tendencies by the conveyance of this experience. As when wood is set in fire, it is reduced to ashes, O Arjuna, so the fiery potency of the realized knowledge reduces all actions to nothing. Nothing, indeed, can be compared with direct experience. No other purifier is as relevant in this world. That man who himself is perfected in yoga practice will in time locate the realization in himself. One who has faith gets the experience. Being devoted to restraining the sensual energy, having acquired the experience, he goes quickly to the supreme peace. The ignorant person, the faithless one who is doubtful, is degraded. Neither this physical world, nor the dimensions beyond this, nor happiness is for the person who is doubtful. Cultural activities do not implicate a person whose actions are renounced through techniques developed in yoga practice, whose doubt is removed by realized knowledge, and who is self-composed, O conqueror of wealthy countries. Therefore, having severed entirely with the cutting instrument of realized knowledge this doubt that comes from the ignorance which is lodged in our being, resort to yogic technique and make a stand, O man of the Bharata family. That was chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita. Next up will be chapter 5. Thanks for listening.